Good evening. Welcome to Justice Tarot, where around here it's just us Libras that are receiving the reads and maybe the cross watchers who love to love us or love to hate us. Either way, we're not pressed. We're doing a read tonight for Libra Mars placement. Okay, this came in wanting to bring in a download. We're going to open up with a Kali Oracle and we're just going to jump on into it. All right, so if you got Libra Mars placement, this is for you. You could maybe benefit from this if you have any Libra placement in the house of Scorpio, which would be the 8th house, or Aries, which would be the 1st house, since both are ruled by Mars. Okay, so I could see how themes could come through in that way. Ooh, yes. Okay, so looks like you got a couple cards coming out here. Three of them actually. Very interesting. So here we have Yuga Shakti. So we're currently moving through the Kali Yuga, and often in the Kali Yuga, which is known as a time of greed and apathy and uninvolvement, I think is the best way to express it, lack of participation. There's something that's like waking up inside of you that is asking you to bring forward your creative force to activate some kind of change. And it's bold and it's daring. There's also a piece here that it might look a little scary to other people. It might look a little scary, okay? Because you're really shaking things up. You're speaking some kind of truth here. Something has come to your awareness and it must be communicated. That's what I got. Shakti is the creative aspect of Kali. I feel like this is using your voice to create something. How can you creatively use your voice? For some of you, it's not using your voice in a traditional way. Maybe it's not through speaking. Maybe it's not through singing. Maybe it is through written word for some of you. For some of you, your dance is your voice. There's something about creativity that needs to rise up out of you and be expressed because it's an activating force and it makes the stuck unstuck. That's what I just heard. This will bust through the inertia, the stagnation that is so prevalent of this age of the Kali Yuga that we're in. Kali is not just destroyer, though. Kali is also creator in the Shakti form. So this is like you're in the process of birthing a new world right now. Very interesting energy. We are going to look at what she has to say about this card. We'll pick which one we're going to go into, like maybe we'll do a mini healing process with just one of the cards. She gives a healing process, Alana Fairchild, for each of these. But I want to look and see what we have here. Look at this. Yes, it's very clear. The voice is meant to be used. There's something that you have to express. It's part of your purpose. Do you see how she's standing here? I picked red. You know, I was really drawn to red for the Libra Mars. But she has her hand. Her right hand is resting right here on Vishuddha, on the throat chakra. The throat chakra is not just about what needs to be expressed, it's also connected to your purpose. When this becomes activated, there's something here. There's something here that's being ignited on your path. It's something that you are meant to do. It's something that is meant to come through you. I'm getting very distinctly that it's something you need to express creatively with that Shakti energy there. And you're receiving this with the left hand up. This is something that it's like being channeled through you. So for some of you, it is song. You are a singer, and it's time to bring your voice forward. It's time to share your songs. It's time to maybe even those of you who do any kind of healing work, it might be time to work with bringing this aspect in using your voice. There's this piece here through toning, through light codes. Through just inspired song as well, whatever wants to come through. For some of you, it's to get more into channeling. Those of you who maybe read cards, work with some other medium, it may be time to do more channeling, more like drop the props. I just heard, interesting, drop the props. Maybe you've been censoring yourself a bit too, and maybe you need to stop doing that. That sometimes it can look a little scary, right? Creative energy can be very raw. Maybe there's something you're doing creatively that's also very activating, and it's meant to be like that. It's meant to come through very raw. It's part of your unfoldment, though. Look at this here with this Nitya Kali. This is an unfoldment, and it's going to go through cycles. How many are here? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1 year, 3 months. Or, let's see. 15 moons, 15 lunar cycles. This isn't a long unfolding process. It involves a real inner journey, but something creative comes out of it that brings about some kind of manifestation you're meant to bring forward. That's what I got. It's using your voice. It's activating. This is an activating force. It's being activated in you. But the way you bring it forward or what you bring forward will be activating for those who receive it. What kind of activation? Let's see. Guya Kali, yes. Got the Kartika here when we have the cistern. Some of you are meant to do kirtan. Some of you are meant to, again, do some kind of healing work with your voice. There's something about what you bring forward, if it's public speaking, something along these lines. It brings some kind of healing. It cuts away something too. It could cut away ignorance with that Kartika, all right? So maybe you're educating about something. It's an unfoldment process though. I see these as 15 moons, okay? 15 full lunar cycles, so, you know, roughly a year and 3 months, this will come to full fruition. But it's beginning now. I feel like it got kicked off with the Scorpio new moon, okay? And it's sort of like the first phase of this process. How many moons is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first 8 moons, so the next 8 months, it's like the light in this is going to be building, like it's actively going to be building. It starts kind of slow, all right? It starts kind of slow. I feel like 3 months in, at the opening of the year, you'll have, you know, a lot more kind of like ease in your situation with this, what you're pursuing with this. It feels like it's a process, you know, it's something you're actively developing because it's an awakening as well. Once you get about to that, yeah, right about the 8th month mark, okay? So right about the start of summer, look at how it builds. It's just, it all moves into the light. It's amazing. I feel like this is really strong North Node activation, destiny activation, and it starts slow, okay? It starts slow. It looks like the first, I'd say especially starting now, the first 2 months are going to seem just kind of like, oof, you know, to you. But by the time you get to the 3rd month, you're going to see that this thing is really gathering some energy. I think you're focusing mostly on the internal aspects of this, of really awakening this. It feels almost like refining the vision or refining the way that it's meant to come through. You know what I really want to look at? I want to look at this Nitya Kali that came through for this, because this is what I'm mostly fixated on. So let's see what she has to say about this, because that was a real interesting download to get on that card. Alana Fairchild, okay, this is a wonderful oracle. I have her white light oracle too. She makes a lot of oracles, amazing visionary artist. This is number 30, okay, so something's coming into alignment within you. And I feel like there's also, you know, for those of you who have your spirit team on hand, they are all over this, all right? It's almost like you're working in partnership with your spirit team to bring this thing into being. So look for a lot of like kind of musing energy coming in around this, I feel. All right. Let's see here. Nitya Kali. She calls us away from the world to journey inwards where a path of sacred introversion beckons. Turning within may feel natural or unfamiliar, but in journeying within, you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize you are not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon. Honor your losses, but keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be. Kali Nitya is the cycle of the waning moon from the moment just after the height of the full moon into a phase of decline, right up until the black moon, just before the new moon initiates the building of a fresh cycle. This moon phase embodies the natural magic inherent in letting go and allowing for the energies to run their course and die away. It can be assigned to embrace the qualities of decrease for a period, to bring a cycle of experience to completion and generate what is necessary for the next cycle to be more abundant and nourishing than the last. Given our societal preoccupation with constant activity and outwardly driven connection, honoring Nitya Kali requires the use of our will to honor our soul rhythms above peer pressure. There can be resistance to embracing the crumbling away of a form once cherished, yet in doing so, we can give proper burial, allowing for cleansing emotions, perhaps anger, sadness, loss, or grief in the face of betrayal, disappointment, or confusion, to move through the soul. Then the space for higher understanding, healing, and even forgiveness and gratitude for what has been learned can open up. Peace and release follow, and soon after, a readiness for the new. To hold space in the liminal or between times when something is no longer, and the superior evolution beyond a mere replacement is yet to be, requires wisdom and courage. Inner processes need to take place beneath the cover of darkness, privacy, and sanctuary. You do not need to parade your process before others nor prove anything to anyone. This is a time of natural inward motion and decline. It is healthy and can be enjoyable, relished as a chance to clear out and free yourself from unnecessary burdens of mind and body. And I want to say here, what's coming in is that it's actually freeing up space for this creative activation to come through you. So allow whatever it is that is passing away, whatever you're releasing, and whatever old energies from the cycle might linger that's being cleansed away now. Allow this to be the gateway that sort of like opens up the initiation of this energy, this creative energy that's coming in for you. It's going to inspire something in you that's igniting a part of your purpose. And has something to do with expression, creative expression, particularly. I mean, you could even create, you know, with something as more abstract. You know, you think of this piece, you think of creating, it's natural to think of the voice when connected to Vishuddha, but it could even be like the voice of a painting. Do you know what I'm saying? There's many different ways to communicate. It's not only with words, it can also be with body language. And maybe this piece is coming through too, to notice your body language right now. Paying attention to your body and coming in like this will reveal a lot to you as well, and will be very supportive of this process. I got that. If you are not used to letting go or believe you must constantly be on, then this is a chance to expand your psychological and emotional vocabulary. Allow for the divine feminine wisdom of the soul to do what it does so well, provide the method and process for healing transformations. If you are used to controlling everyone and everything, consider this a chance to step back and allow others to develop their power and responsibility. I like that. Yes, you know what? Sometimes there can be this thing, especially with caretaking, or if you've ever been in a caregiver role, or those of you who've ever done any kind of job, a nurse, you know, a massage therapist, anyone who works with any kind of healing modality, works within the healthcare system, or if you've been showing up for an ailing loved one, or maybe there's just been a lot of additional responsibility put on you because you've taken on a caregiver role, whether you feel that was thrust upon you, because nothing can be thrust upon you. You have to agree to take something on. Okay, maybe you did rise to a challenge and you responded to a call, but it became a point where then it became a crutch maybe for someone else. And you might need to do this, right? You might feel an over sense of responsibility to continue to support, but it might only be in you kind of like pulling away that you give this person the opportunity to like rise to their own challenge, which is really what is truly empowering in this situation. Okay, this piece coming through. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe people can't develop their own sense of power and responsibility if they have what you view as support or help. It's controlling their experience in a sense, in a kind of roundabout way, because it doesn't allow them the opportunity to really claim that for themselves. There's something about that, right? There's something about the journey of really like reclaiming yourself and doing that on your own, not needing the support. Like everybody deserves that. Okay, maybe you need that too, right? It might be being mirrored a bit. Okay, Nitya Kali's message is to give yourself time and space to truly let go, as this ending is divinely intended. You shall receive abundant blessings that will more than replace any loss or suffering you have experienced through our conclusion. Interesting. Through our conclusion of a life phase. Through our, oh, really? Okay, that's an interesting message coming in. Yeah, you're getting a whole new spirit team. Some of you are getting new guides that are coming in. All right. This is feeling like a pretty more like spiritually oriented path working kind of read here. This is what's wanting to come in for you, Libra Mars. I feel like your spiritual world is needing a little bit more focus right now. Your spiritual world has something to gift you in terms of something you're meant to bring forward. It's something you're meant to express, and it's part of your purpose, like your life path work, okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're getting a new spirit team. It's like you're working with new guides. There's something new that's coming in this regard. If you have been in a period of loss or grief, the oracle indicates that this is coming to an end, likely sooner than you realize, and yet you are invited to allow it to find its completion naturally rather than trying to rush it to an ending. Okay? No pushing the river, Libra Mars, all right? The oracle also predicts a closure around a matter of deep soul healing. Beautiful. Trust yourself and your divine timing. You will instinctively sense when you are ready to put the sad days behind you and embrace the beginning of a happier time. No matter how unlikely that seems at this time, it will happen naturally, as sure as spring follows winter. And spring could be a really important time for you. That may be the time when you really feel like you're emerging from the winter. All of this depends on what time you arrive at this read. Some of you will arrive at this read down the road. It is a timeless reading. But for those of you who are tuning in now, winter season is probably going to be this sort of more internalized time for you. But spring is going to be a real big turning point when you emerge into kind of like a new life cycle, okay? The oracle asks you to give the more challenging emotions such as grief and sadness proper honor and place. Do not avoid them, but do not allow them to consume your entire being or believe that they shall rule your life. If you feel your hands are tied and you are unable to exert your will in the world at this time, do not fret. Often before a time of significant fruition, there is a period when nothing much seems to be happening. And I just got the image of, a quiver, being pulled back in a bow. That arrow ready to fire off. You can't see it right now, maybe, but that's what this process is like. It's like, this is what you're doing through the winter. I feel, you're kind of getting really focused. And I do feel like you're going to shoot a shot with the December new moon. There's something that builds in that December new moon. Is a Sagittarius new moon. There's something that builds in that cycle, and it comes to fruition with the Gemini full moon. All right. No, not Gemini. Oh, interesting. Well, I said it. So Gemini full moon might be the ending of one phase, okay? And then you're going to shoot your shot with the Sagittarius new moon cycle that culminates with the Cancer. That culminates with the Cancer full moon on the 26th of December. That's interesting, though, that Gemini piece snuck in there. There might be a Gemini piece in here somewhere. There might be a mirroring energy going on here too. There could be a Gemini factoring into your situation. There might be something that you need to go back and touch base on. Look at where you have Gemini in your chart. There's a key there. There's a key there that's going to illuminate some type of balancing you need to do that will firmly kind of like close this old karmic cycle, and then you'll be able to move forward. There's a key there, right? Pay attention to this. But there is this period, like, when you're about to fire off an arrow, right? You pull it back, and there's this moment where nothing's happening, and yet everything's happening that determines the success of that moment. Do you know what I mean? It's like the tension is being held there as you have that arrow pulled back. you're getting your focus, you're setting your sights, you're having to move into this like calmness, this equanimity, this focus, and then you release it. Then you release it. So maybe that's what you're doing with that Gemini full moon. You're releasing some arrow. You still haven't let go of it. You're still holding on to something that you set your sights on a while ago, and you haven't released the quiver yet. Aha. And you need to, because you're meant to set your sights on something new that's going to be coming through you, that's creatively inspired. It's like, okay, let that go. Let it run its course. Let the arrow land where it needs to land. Okay, you need to take your hands off that now. I think that's what the relinquishing control is about. It's not time to focus on that anymore. Release and focus on this new target, okay, that's going to come in with the Sagittarius new moon on December 12th. By the time you get to the end of December, after Christmas, day after Christmas, 26 on the clock, you're going to see a manifestation from that one. That one's like hyperdrive, okay? The other one might take some time. That's what I got. The old target, you know, what you were aiming for before, it might take some time to play out. Gemini could play a part in that, okay? There also could be a Gemini connected with that in some way, shape, or form. Interesting. Very, very interesting. You are attending to your inner work and strengthening your vision and intention. Yep, set the sights, get in the focus. But where is the evidence and result of your hard work? Well, you got to let go. It is building within the soul, just as powerful energies build unseen within the seed, ready to spring forth with unexpected and astonishing strength and vibrancy when the time is right. Okay, this is reminding me of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Oh, what is the quote? When you move, it says like to move in the dark, like to move in the stillness. In other words, like to pull the light back. It doesn't appear like anything's happening, yet everything is happening. And when you do strike like a lightning bolt, like boom, you know, it's like one shot. It's like it's a building of energy. It's a storing of potency, because what you're going to bring through, it's going to be like so, it's just going to hit the target in such a way that I almost got this image of like, I saw it as almost like this like lightning rod coming down from the sky, and it touches the ground, and there's like this ripple effect that comes from it that just radiates out from it, and it shifts the entire landscape of your life in one shot. It's something about this, okay? So look for that to come in. This is coming in pretty strongly. Let go of force, but do not give in to despair or a feeling of defeat. Any cycle of holding back or lack of external support for your inner work will end, followed by a new era of divinely mandated manifestation. Whoa. All right. And bring this in, okay, and then we'll get some wild cards on this, but this is to set the intention. Let's root this a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring in her Kali invocation for this one. I knew this was something, okay? This is something. 15 moons, man. Wow. The unfoldment. Out of the muck you rose, man. That's what it's going to be. Out of the muck you rose. You rose up out of the frickin' mud. It's going to be like, look where I'm at now. I came up from that to this. That's what I got. All right. Invocation. Place your hands in prayer before your heart. Take a moment to connect within. Imagine, sense, feel, or intend that you are dropping peacefully and deeply into a vast inner spaciousness. As you go within, following the inhalation and dropping deeper on the exhalation, feel yourself effortlessly letting go of the external world and any day-to-day concerns. You are crossing the inner threshold into sacred introversion and healing presence. Receive the following invocation. Jai Ma Kali, please bless me with your sacred holding and protection, that I may willingly enter your depths to be undone and reborn. Whew. I let go of my outer attachments and become free to journey within into the sacred depths where your wisdom can reach me. I fully and gratefully receive your subtle inner infusions of grace, healing, and cosmic realignment for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jai Ma Kali. Finish with your hands in prayer at your heart. Rest for as long as you wish in an empty and open contemplative state with her. You have completed your sacred ritual of invocation. Ooh, I like this. Okay, this sounds good. Let's see. Let's see, what is the creativity that wants to come through? I'm drawn to bring out the arcane bullshit cards on this one. All right, I want to know, what is this purpose that's coming through you? What is this creativity that's coming through you? I like to work with archetypal imagery on stuff like this, right? So let's see what's wanting to come through for Libra Mars. Looks like over 15 moons, right? A year and 3 months. Very interesting. A year and 3 months. So it seems that next year, 2024, is going to be a very important year. It will be in 8 years. So manifestation point here. Something really important is going to manifest in your life in 2024, and it's directly connected to your creative expression and your life purpose. That's what I got. All right. But there's something here that's directly connected to some deep kind of internalized healing process that you've been going through. Shadow work for some of you, really deeply intense shadow or trauma work that you've been moving through. For those of you who don't relate to that term, shadow work, think of it as like trauma work, something that was, heavy. Mean and heavy. I just heard you've been moving through something mean and heavy, man. Yep, mean and heavy. It's had its boot on your neck at times, like something that's, boot on your neck. Ooh, I just got an image, like some of you are doing past life healing work where you were really like oppressed in this life. I've got like general imagery in my mind's eye. It's making me think of something that happened in battle. Yep. Some kind of imbalance in power is being restored here. The equilibrium is being reached. I just saw an 8 on its side, like an infinity symbol, okay? Some kind of karmic balance. And it's leading to a manifestation of your creative life purpose. So I thought it's been repressed. Just to have that imagery, boot on the neck, this is Vishuddha, okay? Again, it's that creative expression that's related to your life purpose. It's something that's been oppressed. It's a way that you're meant to lead, but you've followed for a long time, okay? Woo! Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is potent, man. Okay, I'm gonna like cover it up here. Okay, so this card is called the Guru. Look at this. So somebody else has been driving you, somebody else, something else has been in control here. It's been robbing you of your sight, your vision. And it was 34:55 on the clock when I said that, right? This is like a monkey on your freaking back for some of you, okay? This is something that's hounded you for fucking too long, man. It's had you wandering around in the dark. You've been having to look how he's like standing. He's like, it's like he's having to sense where to move because he can't see. And I feel like this is where you're at right now. You may have even felt like something was like interfering with your sight, or something was hungry for your sight. Something was hungry for your vision. Maybe this has to do with psychic sight for some of you. It's because you have some kind of key. Look at this, the floppy key in reverse. This is what was thrown away. It was a floppy key. Somebody knows that you have a certain key. They wanted to block this vision. But with the floppy key, this is the card that flew away and landed on the floor. This energy is actually reversed. You got the key. You got the key. And with the guru here, this could have been somebody who felt like they knew more than you. This could be a case where the teacher becomes the student and vice versa, all right? This interesting reflecting energy here. There's something here where you balance something out. You have found your own way through a situation, through the awakening of your vision. This is what's coming in. But it involves you building a bridge between your head and your heart. The Sioux say that that is the longest journey you'll ever take. And isn't that interesting? Because you got 15 moons, maybe 15 moons arrives you eventually at the fruition, the full vision of this path. But there's something you're releasing here. And with this, you know, this sort of like flipping the bird energy, there's sorrow here. There's something that you're finding freedom from. It's like you're rising up out of it, even as something is being transformed, the snake energy here. There's something you're just flushing, man. Some of you may need to do some kind of like cleansing work. You might have had a hitchhiker energy on you, and it could be a hitchhiker energy that is related to like somebody who thinks they know better than you, and they try to like steer your life choices. Maybe you let this person, you know, kind of like run the show for too long. Or could be somebody that was, you know, acting as an obstacle to you really seeing how much you've been carrying this person and how much it was draining you from having your own vision in your life. I see this too. All right. Either way, I feel like you're about to break free of this. Some of you might want to do some spiritual cleansing work. Okay. Might want to do some spiritual cleansing work. You might want to do a good egg cleansing, you know, take an egg, run it all over you from the top of your head, all the way down your body to the bottom of your feet, okay? And, you know, crack it into a glass of water that has sea salt added to it. Don't look at it from the top of the glass. Look at it from the side. Kind of get an energy read. Trust your intuition on that. It'll give you an idea of where you might need to, like, do some work to clean up your auric field there, right? And then you just simply, you can flush it. Just flush it down the toilet. Boom, be done with it. I also feel like there's a need to kind of like be aware that there might be an activation of your vision coming forward, like where your vision might have been blocked because of hitchhiker energy. Once you clear this out, this is going to be really lit, okay? So there's this need to really address the diet here. Look at that. Pizza, okay? There's a knife here on this side. It's like there's certain things you need to cut away so you can really be a clear channel for this to come through. Also, I just heard let that shit go too, right? Let that shit go, all right? Then your road's going to open up for you. You're going to get full-on vision about the path ahead. But this is also about like, you know, maybe somebody used to be someone you viewed as your teacher on a certain path, and maybe it's time to like also take off the training wheels. I just heard that. Take off the training wheels. This person is not meant to steer your course. It's your own vision that's meant to awaken in you now, you know? You're meant to find your own way, and doing so is good because this got thrown away. The floppy key, it's like you were operating at only one level, okay? You throw this away, you're like, guru, gee, you are you. Like, I don't need a guru, right? You got some kind of vision of your own awakening in you. And this is giving you potency. This ain't a floppy key. All right? This is a key that can open up many doors. I just got some of you are opening up the doorway to sexual mysteries, right? Interesting. All right, you might have something kind of potent coming your way. That's an interesting message, Libra Mars. Anything else that wants to come in here for Libra Mars? Anything else that wants to come in here for Libra Mars? Something that landed right in the lap. What is this? Yeah, you're meant to like get rid of something that's really outdated here, man. The double caveman is like a cat licking its own butt for eternity, all right? This energy, you might be dealing with a really difficult person. Maybe this person, you've seen some growth, you've seen some evolution in this situation. It could also be a situation you're dealing with, but masculine energy coming in very strong here. It's like, yeah, there's been a little growth, but there's not that much difference between this Neanderthal and this old dude here. They're still pretty like stuck in their positions, still feeling divided. Like you could stay here and wait for this to, level up, transform, and you'll just be like a cat licking your own butt for eternity here, right? Again, flush it. I can't make it up. King shit. Toilet angel and king shit. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that, you know, maybe look at that. That's a bunch of BS belief systems, Somebody who's too locked into their belief systems, it's like this has become a slow process. Maybe you're both. I got an interesting message here. One of you may identify as like an earth angel, all right? Or maybe you work with angels a lot. Okay. So one of you is like kind of doing your own work. And I feel like you're coming into alignment with somebody that they're in this place in their life. Maybe they're dealing with, getting rid of their BS. They're kind of like shedding some of their belief systems, all right? So this is sort of like a dynamic healing process. There's some kind of negativity that's being destroyed here. There's some kind of falsehood that's being destroyed here. I feel like somebody is really waking up and they're taking the bull by the horns. Could be a Taurus involved in this situation, masculine. They're taking the bull by their horns and they are resolving this issue once and for all. This is somebody stepping back into their power and their vision too, all right? I feel like there's an alignment of these energies. For the masculine, you're really stepping up into your power. You're given a finger, right? Possibly to a Taurus. This is possible. But it could also be that you're given the finger to, just the BS, the beliefs that, you took on that you recognize are just sort of like preventing you from living the way you want to live on your terms. And I feel like either way here, this is like giving the finger. Look at this. You're giving a lot of fingers. And I feel like you're coming into alignment with somebody who's maybe making up their mind. This is interesting. So maybe this is what you've been dealing with, right? There's something that you need to let go of and you need to stop focusing on, and this person does too. I feel like for you, it's more like something that you've been looking at, something 44 on the clock, something you've been looking at, something you've been trying to understand for a long time. And it's kind of like enough processing, like just let it completely go, clear off the old energy of the old cycle. You don't need to wait around for this person to have this shift in their consciousness. for them to look at things in a new way, because that's what this is. This is this person getting out of this BS of being divided and not being able to make up their mind between their head and their heart, you know, or feeling like it's all about them and everything has to go their way. Because this can be, and this can be you too, okay? My way or the highway, possibly, all right? There could be a need to break out of some kind of like set way of viewing something, all right? But I see you releasing this energy because you're freeing yourself from this. I feel like there's another person on the other side of this, and it's like once you stop going over this old ground and you free yourself of this, they become undivided. You know what I'm saying? They become undivided. They finally come into unison and they recover their sense of empowerment too. I like this because you can see here that this applies for both masculine and feminine. All right. We got like the birthing portal here. Very cool. Very cool. This is overcoming a set way of viewing something or a certain sense of stubbornness. You know, it's moving forward in a new way and not being divided anymore. Very cool. Okay. Anything else? One more round, and then maybe we'll do like, okay. Yes, you're following your instincts. You're following your instincts about a certain situation that you don't trust. You feel like there's been some kind of like dagger sent your way. You do. You feel like there hasn't been the fairest sense of play in a situation. You know, you're not willing to hang out and, you know, get another like, you know, knife put in your back to like prove it to you. It's like, no, we're going to cut to the chase. We're creating transformation in this situation. I'm trusting my instincts. I'm not just using my brain now. I'm actually merging my instincts with my brain, because brain knowledge, understanding is one, and it can be subject to faulty programming, right? But when you really like get into the meat of it and you do that internal motion, that drawing in, and you get to get a different lay of the land by sort of like trusting your inner feelings, sensations, you know, that snake medicine. It's very sensitive to the vibrations. It's got the same vibe. I got Art of War vibes, man. Libra Mars. I got Art of War vibes. You need to do that thing, man, where you make yourself appear small. Appear being the operative word, right? You need to appear small so you can just hang out in this vibratory state, because it's everything that's coming in that more subtle state that's going to like build this potency, build this power. So when you take your action, it's like, boom, that's what I got. And when that happens, this energy that's been working against you, ooh, you're fucked. That's what I got. Look at the snake. Look at the way the snake is looking back at this, dude. It's giving me Lilith vibes. I have to tell you, it's giving me Lilith vibes. Oh, this is cool though, but look at this. And then from there, you're like a raptor riding a dolphin in space. This is the thing, actually. Ironically, there's something that happens through this karmic balancing that breaks this other individual out of this place where they were before, this double caveman, right? Because we know raptors were around during, you know, prehistoric times. Well, now that raptor is riding a dolphin in space. So this to me is really talking about there's a progression in this situation where you're dealing with a situation and they're merged together. Actually, this is very interesting. The raptor's body is actually merged with the dolphin's body. Their bodies have become one. Work with breath work to transform. This is, I just got rebirthing coming in. Work with breath work. If you can get in a body of water as well, and work with breath work, this can be very potent. This can be very potent for, I got like releasing trauma loops, okay? It's some set point in your mind it's like some set point in the consciousness that moves through breath work. There's a piece about working with pranayama. And also if you can get in the water element too, like bring in water element, I feel like a body of water. I'm feeling a natural body of water, okay? The ocean, lake, like a body of water. I'm not envisioning like a tub. There's something about this. It's going to act like it's going to be like that lightning bolt. Maybe that lightning bolt is coming through you like a divining rod. It activates your vision. It's like a transmission coming in. This is kind of an out there read, but I feel like it's not just happening with you. There's somebody else this is happening with too. And it's somebody that at one point you kind of were like on opposite sides of the fence in a way. You might have even viewed each other as nemesis, but now you're like, you're coming together. Oh, interesting. I didn't notice this. Look at this, right? The raptor. I said they were becoming one. Look at the instinct. We got the snake, right? There's that like reptilian kind of energy. But raptors, you know, we all know the birds associated with this. So isn't that interesting? The way that this is coming in together. And it's also that like two different mediums, right? It's tempering energy too, because like snake is of the earth. Snake can also be of the sea. There are sea snakes, just like dolphins. Okay, so maybe it's mimicking that energy, whereas raptors, it's elemental. It's all the elements. Where's the fire? The fire. Where's the fire? In the synapses. Oh my goodness. The fire is in the synapses firing off in the brain. This is a change of consciousness where there's going to be a distinct shift in consciousness from an old way of viewing a situation or a person and the new way. It comes in through like some kind of like download though. And it's taught through some kind of karmic lesson. Because like somebody is being taught something by having to own their energy, and it shifts their perspective about something. It shifts their perspective about something, and it gets them out of this place of being so locked in their position. Maybe when they kind of have to own their energy because you're no longer taking it on because it was hitchhiker energy. It's like you shedding this hitchhiker energy that was blocking your vision simultaneously frees the other person almost through like a tower type of energy though. That's so wild. It's like it brings the lightning bolt down upon them because then all their energy has to come back to them. They have to own their energy. You're not allowing it to be like a hitchhiker anymore. And then when they own this, then they're starting to get a different view. It awakens something in them. All right. And then you all get on the same page. There's something coming into union that was divided, but it's by a real radical shift in belief in a situation, consciousness. You're meant to do some kind of emotional release work. Spiritual baths are helpful, but I really feel this piece about a body of water is really important in association with this. And it's more like bathing yourself in a body of water, like really getting in touch with the natural element there. And there's something that evolves through this. It's a conditioning that evolves. And it also breaks you free of a certain like loop in consciousness too. For this individual as well, there's a transformation here. And it brings about some unity, some healing. Very abstract. Very abstract. Let's bring the angels in and see what they have to say. I'm kind of digging it though. This read is like not anticipated at all, but it's what wanted to come in. All right, tell me, what do Libra Mars need to know, angels? You go ahead and weigh in on this matter. It feels like a little angel play, all right? It feels a little out there. But, you know, sometimes the angels are good to bring in situations like this, even though they are more ether-oriented beings. They still, they teach through more discipline, okay? So there's a little bit of that. There's temperance energy coming in, you know, like the air and the earth and the water and the earth and all of this tempering. It does something that has the synapses firing off in a new way. You're getting out of a neural loop. There's a big psychological shift that's happening here. And there's this boom, there's this like creative spark that comes through it. It aligns you with your purpose. You clearly see your path ahead. Bottom of the deck energy. This is in reverse. Four of Cups in reverse. No longer disappointed. I love that. Moving out of disappointment. Healing capacity. Protection from weapons. Safety in travel. Okay, so protection from weapons, safety in travel. This is going to sound out there, but it's what's coming in. Like some of you, you know, you do journeying. Some of you, you work in more of these kind of like meditative states. You know, maybe you do work around hopping timelines, or you do interdimensional work. You know, some of you are Merc riders, okay? And there's something here about maybe it hasn't been safe for you really to travel in those realms entirely, or you haven't been able to go as far out as you should be going at this time to be able to kind of like retrieve this, like this download, because you've had this hitchhiker energy on you. It's almost like it's not meant for them. It's meant for you. It's not for their healing. They're meant to heal themselves. It's almost like they were benefiting from that. And so maybe a cycle, a closure, karmic closure and healing was taking longer than it was supposed to because somebody else was siphoning off of that energy. They were like drinking in a bit of that light. With this shed, it changes everything, okay? You're able to like now kind of get the fulfillment of that work. The downloads coming in. Yeah, right behind there, you've got Gabriel coming in. This is judgment, you know, Gabriel blowing the horn. What does it say here? Divine revelation reveals messages, has the power to destroy. Ooh. Okay, something, you know, that's that tower. I mean, I do feel like somebody's getting a tower in this situation. It's almost like you can't allow this energy to be a hitchhiker because there's some blessing coming through you. There's a healing coming through you that's been held up because of a hitchhiker energy. As soon as you release this, yes, it brings a tower to this person, but it also frees you, all right? It frees you. And it reveals this download, this message that you've been meaning to receive, should have received, were supposed to receive, that aligns you with your purpose, okay? But even in the tower that it brings to another, it sets them free too, because it like, it just rocks their BS, man. And they're able to like flush it and get over it. And then they level up. It's really wild. It feels like it happens like super fast, super instantaneous, like a lightning bolt. I got Sun Tzu. Interesting. This is wild energy. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Knight of Cups. Then there's a coming forward with an emotional invitation and offer. Ariel. Perception and revelation. Discovers hidden treasure. Reveals secrets of nature. 59:33 on the clock. Something coming into alignment here. And what is it? It's the healing of the wound. The wound is where the light gets in. 59:44. Love and submission cures illness, influences eternal love, and gives long life. This is the healing you've been waiting for.